Anyway, self-sustained fountain of cosmic purity radiates out from this pyramid and covers the entire planet. And we feel we are in the presence of the sun itself. Passing around the fountain, we descend another flight of stairs into a hall of the Elohim. And at the far end, a series of ascending circular platforms is the throne of purity and Astria. So if you find yourself, in a white pyramid with these circular stairs and a room that all the Elohim gather here. And so this is in Russia, folks. So don't think Russia's bad, because Russia's got a lot of good stuff over there. And it's becoming better and better as we get closer and closer to the Ascension. Now, a lot of people go, okay, what's the Ascension? Well, the Ascension is what all of us humans will need to go through in order to evolve into the higher dimensions. Now, if we don't evolve, we'll just have to be reborn here on the earth again. So my idea is, I've been through enough that I don't want to go through this again. And so I want to learn more from the Ascended Masters, the Elohim, and go through that process myself. Now, here's another interesting. This is the Elohim Cyclopeia and Virginia. And quite interesting, they focus on the energies of the third eye chakra of the planet. Now, the third eye sanctuary is located high in the Altai range, where China, Siberia, and Mongolia meet together in the Tabun Bogdo. The entire retreat is in the etheric realm, as are all of them, although congruent with the mountains. And this retreat focuses on the emerald ray. So as you can see, there's a lot of green emerald energy coming off from Cyclopeia and Virginia. The massive emerald crystal front of where they are, and if you meditate, you go into it, you'll go into this, what appears to be an emerald, and it's cut like an elongated emerald. And the circular sunken room within a larger room is the focus of the emerald ray. The blazing consciousness of the Elohim suspends therein in an all-seeing eye within the triangle, just like our dollar bill. The 6 pillars surrounding the central altar are 5-sided crystal green. They remind us that we are in a temple dedicated to precipitation. Now, I just got a book, St. Germain leads me to these books, and it's about precipitation. A guy wrote an entire book about it, and he learned all of this from St. Germain. And so that's my next project, is in a week I'm going to talk about precipitation. So the retreat is dedicated to science and healing. So if you want to heal, you go to this emerald room. Now when we were in Mount Shasta, they told us to go to this emerald room that is down with the telos underneath Mount Shasta. And on our first night there, I went to this room. And there was these big telos, about 14, 15 feet tall, with white hair, and they were over me moving their arms like this, and they were doing healing on me. So I must have a lot to be healed, because I've lived a lot of shadowy lives, I guess. But anyway, we enter a gold room, the precipitation room. It's decorated in green and gold velvet with jade. And actually they told us it was a jade room under telos. Which has more yellow in it and is tinged with gold, whereas the emerald green of the all-seeing eye is more of a blue-green. Here the great masters gather in council meetings and discuss the very destiny of the planet and formulate plans for the implementation of the higher science through and among embodied mankind. So they're the ones bringing in all of the scientific achievements. So these guys are quite the pair.
Are those 2 pictures supposed to be the same image that are next to that?
Which one?
Right, those 2, the center
The
one.
middle one and the
They're all different.
No, those
No,
two
the
are
one to
the
the
same.
left and the middle?
And the center and the one to the left are the same picture.
Oh, maybe I got two of the same. Okay, let's take that one down. Yeah, this was purity and mastery. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Got about 5 minutes. Okay, now this is
That's the follow-up.
Cyclopedia and Virginia. And let's see, I need to go to, okay, yeah, let's do this one next. This is the Elohim Peace and Aloha. Now, I didn't know this, but Aloha is a twin flame of the Elohim of Peace. And he is the Elohim of the 6th ray, purple and gold ray, of peace, brotherhood, and the true ministration of the Christ, and the desire to be in the service of God and man through his mastery of the Christ consciousness. Peace and Aloha focus both the gold and purple flames as the perfect balance of masculine and feminine aspects of peace. The purple flame is also the flame that purifies you from karma and bad deeds, so it's something that can clear your body of all these things. It's quite interesting. Guess where their temple is, their sanctuary?
Why?
Yeah.
Aloha.
You know why you feel so good when you go to Hawaii? There's the temple of peace and aloha. And the people there in Hawaii, aloha is a welcoming. It's a beautiful, welcome energy that makes you feel at peace. And so when you're in Hawaii, you feel those things because those Elohim are there. And they give us those feelings. Now, it was Peace who introduced the use of the great central sun and the sun disk, a disk shield of dazzling white fire that may be placed over the solar plexus chakra to deflect the discord of others. See, I'm learning new things too. Now this disc, you ask Peace to bring peace to you, and he brings that disc and puts it over you. Because see, we get hit with all these negative emotions through our solar plexus, and we ask for this golden disc of the great central sun to cover that. We no longer get affected by those energies, which is way cool. So it was interesting. They actually appeared in Washington, D.C. on the January 3rd, 1965, to the prophets, Mark Prophet and, is it Claire Prophet? Elizabeth Clare. And they started a Saint Germain sanctuary and a place of learning because Peace and Aloha appeared to them and instructed them to do that. So quite interesting things, how they've all been involved in starting up things that are teaching us. And the greatest artifact for peace that mankind could ever find in all their history has been from the sentimental gifts of peace and aloha. And the Elohim spoke with great power and majesty. This is the prophet speaking, Claire, Elizabeth Clare and Mark Prophet. They spoke with great power and majesty, disillusioning those who have thought of peace as a fragile or tender or somehow incapable of bringing to bear the great power of cosmic pressures. And peace, if you need peace in your life, ask for the Elohim of peace and aloha to bring that golden shield and place it over your solar plexus. So we'll hang this one up. Quite interesting stories. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Now these are interesting. Now Vicky ought to like this because these are the, this is the Elohim of Arcturus, and his other half, her name is Victoria, or Vicky. Kind of interesting. I have to turn this so I can read this to you. The etheric retreat of Arcturus and Victoria is on the etheric plane near Luanda, Angola, Africa, which I found fascinating. This spiritual retreat focuses the energy of the seat of the soul chakra of the planet. Approaching the retreat of the Elohim, Arcturus and Victoria, we have the feeling that we are entering a mighty fortress, occupying the space of approximately 4 city blocks. This massive 4-story building, now it's on the etheric plane. You know, there's certain movies where people can see, and in this one movie lately, they have this little boy who enters in, and all of a sudden this big city of crystalline light appears, and his parents knew he was special, but they didn't know why. But he actually made them visualize this for about 12 minutes, and then it disappeared as he went into it. And the personal flames of Arcturus and Victoria are anchored there inside this. The purple of Arcturus to our left, the violet and pink of Victoria to our right. We are led through the front entrance, and we enter a great hall. And they are the focus. The violet flame is the focus of mercy. And mercy is what happened when Christ went through the atonement and gave us all the gift of mercy. And Saint Germain has carried on that violet flame. So I'm going to hurry up because I'm out of time. But anyway, quite interesting stories about all of these. And this is another picture. This is Orion and Cyclopeia. And quite an interesting story. I don't have time to go through theirs, but I would like to invite you all to study the 7 Elohim, as I have done today, and it's easy to do. There's information on the internet. I was very amazed by all of it. I do want to, this is also Orion and Orion, some people call him, and very fascinating guy. And guess who his counterpart is? Angela.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, kind of fascinating.
She must
Oh,
have been
here's the
wonderful.
picture. Yeah, this is them. And so these are all the 7 Elohim, and they have a very important task to do also, but I'm not going to go through it because I'm out of time. But I do want to pass you all a thing that the great divine director who assists the 7 Elohim, he gave me the instructions I needed to hand this out to everybody, because when you have goals, you decide you want to do something. The 7 Elohim want us to go through these processes, and they've given us a way. Do we have some?
Yep.
Yeah, good. Okay, and 5 of these are up above the head, and these are the 5. They're of purity, peace, Cyclopeia, Cassiopeia, and Orion. And 2 on the side are Hercules, is to the
Right side.
right side, and Arcturus is to the left side, but they come in from the sides, so you can't see them on this. I'd need a bigger picture of it. But the important thing to know is Arcturus and, well, the great divine director basically came to me and said, we need to put this over our third eye because it will keep the negative energies from disturbing our creative activity. In other words, we'll be able to create and achieve our goals much easier with putting this 7-fold flame over our third eye. The other thing he told me was to put the trifold flame, which is the pink, yellow and blue over the heart chakra, and that will protect our heart. And so I do that every day. So you put the sevenfold flame with all the Elohim over your third eye, helps you create and not be disturbed by negative energies, and the trifold flame over your heart so it protects your heart. So thank you for listening. Does anybody have any questions?
That was awesome.
That was a
Great.
lot of stuff. I didn't even get to all of it. So thank you for coming.